Hey YouTube, we're back. We have another deck profile for you guys today. Um, we just spent the afternoon at Uno's, so we're full of steak and beer, and we feel like talking about some Yu-Gi-Oh! So I hope you're ready to listen. Um, this evening, Chops has an old famous deck of his, and it's one that's both very near and dear to our hearts. So we hope you enjoy. Take it away.
Thank you. We call this the Elder Deck
Yes.
because it has been around probably the longest of all of our decks that we have had since childhood. Uh, let's see, what pack do you believe it started?
Well, the Pharaoh's Servant, or Pharaonic
Probably.
Guardian, whichever.
Whichever
Um,
one. Whenever zombies came into the main spotlight, I loved them.
And we're talking zombies like Walking Zombie or whatever. Giant Axe Mummy,
Giant Axe Mummy. Ooh,
stuff like
yeah.
that. Dark Death Spirit.
All
So
those
yeah, like
oldies
Pharaonic
but
Guardian.
goodies.
Yeah.
So I have built zombies, and I have kept them around for a long time.
For better or for worse.
Exactly, from ban list to ban list.
Yep.
I have tried to keep them going, and this deck has evolved a million times in the days, and here it is at its current state.
Get ready for this. This is good.
First off, we're going to start with the obvious staples of 3 Zombie Master. Gotta do Zombie Master.
Now, the coolest part about your Zombie Masters that still I just don't understand to this day, you've got, it's hard to see, but he's got 1 ulti and 2 supers. Now, Zombie Master is one of the few cards, at least that we're aware of, that is printed as like every rarity, like except for rare. There's commons, there's supers, there's got to be ultras somewhere.
Yeah.
If there's an ulti, then there's got to be ultras. You know, what was the ulti from?
Tactical Ev, along Evolution. With the supers. They're both from Tactical Ev.
And neither of them are special edition cards. Well, I mean, the supers wouldn't be.
All first edition.
I don't know. It's weird.
Go figure.
Yeah.
If anybody can answer that, please comment. Now we move on to the searcher of the deck, or one of the 2 searchers, and that's Pyramid Turtle. I run 2 because I feel that 3 clogs up the deck sometimes. You're relying on using him. You usually kind of start getting into the pattern of, okay, I'll just search out another one to make it search me again, whatever. So I run it at 2. Next we have Goblin Zombie,
Dual
another
terminal.
searcher. Yep, both DT, nice and shiny. I like it. And again, he searches. Now we move on to 2 of my favorite cards. Tech-wise, I believe. You'll see why I run them a little bit later. And it's 2 Paladin and a Cursed Dragon. 19 beat stick for a level 4, and it has the cool little effect that if a level 4 or lower zombie was destroyed on your opponent's side of the field, you can bring it back at the end phase onto your side of the field.
And this card didn't hit the deck till much later.
No,
you know,
yes.
You just see, we had it going in and out, and it never seemed to want to stay for too long. No. Like, you were running it at 1 for a little while. There was like a chaos kind of thing he was doing for a little while, and it just...
There was a while it was at 3 as well.
Yeah. Because, I mean, a 19 beaters, it's good, you know? You like
Definitely.
it, but... Yeah. And that's when Zombie World was actually, like, a good card, you know? Like, people actually like to run, 3 field spell. And, made it worth it. Same thing with Doom Kaiser. Like, that's why Doom Kaiser doesn't see any play anymore.
Exactly.
Because people are just doing spam zombies instead of, I'm going to take all your things.
Of course.
Eh.
Oh, well. Like I said, evolved through the years. Next, we have Mizuki at 1. Wish he was at 2. I mean, everybody that plays zombies wishes he was at 2.
If Mizuki was at 2, nobody would play anything but zombies.
Nuts.
It was nuts. We have a friend who has a zombie challenge deck, and he tries to scam people into playing it. Like, oh, if you pay me $2, then you beat the challenge deck, then I'll buy you a pack. And it's like, dude, you run Card of Safe Return at 3, Mizuki at 3, and what else? Yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it. But
ridiculous,
yeah.
and then he just
then
synchro
Plague Spreader
ores
like 3
everywhere.
or something like that. It's just ridiculousness. Like
Crazy.
you just keep going and going and going and draw through the entire deck and special summon over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, dude.
Yeah. Oh well.
It's game breaking. Like Mizuki's, it's a shame because it's so good, but Mizuki's at 1 for a reason. You know.
Exactly.
Same thing with Foolish. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Next, we move on to the 2 turners of the deck. Obviously, Plague Spreader and Pain Painter. Gotta have them in there. Now we're gonna talk about some of the tech I have in the deck for lower level monsters. I run 2 Spirit Reaper because he's a nice blocker. If I have the chance, I will send him into attack and hopefully get that discard off.
Yeah. Those used to be marshmallows for a while.
Yes, they were.
We liked the idea of the marshmallow, but then, the marshmallow would find its way into the graveyard and not have anything going on because you can't revive it through Zombie World. But, you can discard for Zombie Master and get yourself back a wall and be fine for a little while.
Exactly. Next, we get a little off topic, but I find it very useful, and that would be Dandy.
Old school.
Old school Dandy. Dandy is very useful when you have Zombie Master on the field. Use Zombie Master's effect. Drop Dandy. Dandy's effect activates. Get the fluff tokens. Added fodder for synchroing, because this is a synchro horde deck. Next, we have 2 Veiler, because Veiler.
It's Veiler.
It's Veiler. It's useful, and it's a light. If you can't notice, a little bit of a chaos variation going, but not completely.
Also, is Veiler a boy or a girl? This has been like a contested thing at every tournament we've been to recently. Like, people were talking about it at regionals. Like, people talk about it amongst our friends. Like, no, Veiler's a chick. No, Veiler's a little dude, you know? I think it's a dude.
I think it's a dude.
Yeah.
A lot of people say a very flat-chested chick.
Whatever.
Oh, well. I don't judge.
I don't know.
People.
What's the consensus, YouTube? You know?
Someone's probably...
What's underneath Veiler's toga?
Somebody's probably going to be like, you stupid idiots.
This is the kind of thing that people talk about, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's important, guys.
And now we go to the big beaters of the deck. A lot of people I see not utilizing this card. I like to utilize it. I used to run it at 2. I run it at 1 now because it gets a little sloppy at 2. And that's Malevolent Mech Goku N. As long as I control a zombie, I can normal summon it. It's a 24 beat stick.
Yeah, nothing to complain about.
Why not?
People don't like the adverse effect, though.
They don't.
You know?
They don't. They don't want to be caught with it being the only thing in their hand and not having a zombie on the field. And then they're like, wait a minute, I can't even summon it.
But when are you going to ever find that? That never happens to you now. That's why you run it at 1. It's okay at 1, people.
It's okay. And while we're on the subject of
here we go.
Beat sticking, I don't know why I overlooked this card for so long, probably because I didn't have the access to it. But I run to Endless Decay. He's special summonable. He's Call the Mummyable. Mummyable?
Yeah, Call of the Mummy.
I don't
know.
Yeah, just one of the great things. Play Call of the Mummy first turn. Boom.
There's your 4,000
beater.
Game.
Everybody's like, yipe. 4,000.
Yeah.
Okay, and as I've been hinting to, my final beat stick is BLS. Because why not have a BLS?
Got
He
lights,
is so useful.
You got darks, you got a BLS.
Exactly. Now we move on to the spells. And the first spell is to Call the Mummy. Because if I got no zombies on my field, let me special summon one. And then normal summon one.
Because fuck you, I get a free special summon.
Exactly. Free special summon.
Whatever.
Yep. Then we got Foolish, because you gotta throw things to the grave like Mizuki. Get him early
Because
game.
you're foolish if you don't run a foolish.
Mm.
Whoa.
Whoa. Little help for BLS, and because it's zombies, a lot of graveyard control. People will start trying to get your monsters out of play. Maybe you just ran into that deprison on, the monster you didn't want deprisoned. That's why you run one burial from a different dimension. It'll get your Plague Spreaders back if you have to use Plague Spreader's ability. I usually don't find myself using it much. I'll use it in a pinch, but with 3 Zombie Master, you can easily bring him back by various means. Mizuki even.
Not a tough thing.
Not a tough thing. You can bring him back. Next I run 1 creature swap. It was at 2. It might go back to 2. I really like it. It's definitely useful when your opponent has a big monster on the field or an effect monster that you don't want using its effect. Throw out Pyramid Turtle. Throw out Goblin Zombie. Whatever you need. Either you need something special summoned, something to your hand. Throw that out. Creature swap. Take their monster. Run over Pyramid Turtle. You get the search. Amazing. The reason creature swap is down to 1 at the moment is because of mind control. A lot of people are trying to Xyz these days, so mind control will easily get rid of that monster, bring it to your side. Maybe you can Xyz with it. Either way. Next is 2 Book of Life, because Reborn, more bringing back potential.
Even beyond that, the banishment.
And banishment. Yeah. Banish your opponent's monster.
Yeah, get the right thing out of their graveyard at the wrong time, and they're shut down.
Exactly. Run it at 2, because 3 is just too much. Bogs down the deck. You'll find yourself with no monsters in your opponent's graveyard, so it's not going to be able to activate.
Yeah. That's the stipulation. You need to have a legal target for removal in your opponent's graveyard first.
Exactly.
But that screws up Dad. That screws up Christia. That screws up now Grand Soil, or eventually like Mulan Glace, the new water one that's coming out, which I'm super excited for. Because I just built Atlanteans and I'm pretty stoked about that, but they're not working too well right now. But anyway, yeah, Book of Life is A-okay in my book. I didn't even mean that one. That was all right.
Well, anyway.
You see, YouTube, Rudy's got jokes and puns.
And if there wasn't enough bringing back from the grave, gotta have the staple Reborn.
Classic.
Can't run a deck without it. I don't see why you would run a deck without it. More likely.
Gravekeepers.
Okay, you got me.
Yeah.
You got me. A deck that doesn't revolve around shutting down the graveyard. Anyway, now you gotta get those pesky spells and traps off your opponent's side of the field, so gotta run 2 MST and a heavy. A lot of people run that these days. I think it works. Now we move on to traps. I run 2 Torrential, because it's a dark hole that you can use on your opponent's turn. And, hey, I like getting things in my graveyard, so if people are like, oh, he's got Mizuki out on his field, I don't want to touch that. I don't want that in the graveyard, because he's got big things in the graveyard that he can bring back with Mizuki. No. You summon, I Torrential, my Mizuki's in the grave, time for me to utilize it, and you don't have any monsters left. Then 2 Bottomless, because Bottomless. 2 Call of the Haunted.
More bringing back from the grave.
Chainable. And it's chainable.
Yep.
And then finally, 2 Fiendish Chains, because Fiendish Chain is very good in this format.
Yeah.
A lot of effect monsters that you do not want around.
Yeah, and that plus Veilers means your opponent's basically going to get nothing off. So
exactly. So that is the main deck. Now for the extra deck, I will go in order of Synchros and then Xyz. First off, for level 5, TG hype, because this deck synchros a lot. You can get TG hype's effect off very easily. I would like to have a Cataster in the side deck, but I have not found myself with a Cataster.
I have one.
Yes, you do. Now, level 6s. Archfiend Zombie Skull, because it gets over the problem of the 2400 cap for zombies. Little difficult to get out, but with Pain Painter in the deck, bring everything down to 2s, you can easily fulfill its Plague Spreader plus 2 other zombie-type monsters for its Synchro Summon. My go-to level 6, because it's all built off of level 4s and Pain Painter, is 2 Revived King Hadus.
This guy just wrecks lives.
He just wrecks lives. He makes
awful.
math angry, and he definitely he's got the ability that when a zombie destroys a monster, its effect does not activate.
There's nothing funnier than watching your opponent hit a solemn warning or a solemn judgment after getting hit with him and being put at XX 25 life. Like, you really want to cast that judgment right now? Like, tell me more about how you want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, enjoy the 5s. Yeah.
Exactly. Another level 6, Iron Chain Dragon. Again, gets over that 2400 cap for zombies and allows for milling.
Iron Chain Dragon's just like the tier 1 level 6. I love that card so much. You know.
Pretty good.
I mean, if it weren't for Gaia, he'd be unstoppable. That's about it. You know. Yeah. Basically unstoppable.
Basically.
But, yeah.
Which brings me to
There he is.
Gaia.
Yeah.
26 vanilla. Why not? If you need to get over that Utopia or something, hopefully Utopia doesn't have any Xyz material.
And if it doesn't, then you don't need Gaia.
Exactly.
Karibo, son. Yeah.
Let me swing into you with something with like 100 attack.
Yeah, if you can't get over, you know, if you can't get into Gemini Pearl or something, or you know.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes. For level 7, Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon's a great wall. Ability to let you special summon level 4s.
Yeah, she's got it all.
And when I side in Zombie World, allows me to search out Zombie World, pop a field spell if someone else is running a field spell. Level 8, Stardust, because Stardust.
Yeah.
There's no explaining that. Red Archfiend Dragon. Pretty classic. I hope everybody knows what they do by now.
Yeah,
they're pretty old.
This is old news.
Old news.
Ooh, this guy.
Final Synchro, and I definitely love using him when I have the chance. Level 9, Mistworm. Little difficult to get out sometimes, but with the right math, he is super useful. Bounce 3 cards on your opponent's side of the field back. Amazing. Clear out those troublesome Xyz and whatnot. Now I move on to my Xyz. Pretty much all rank 4. Actually, all rank 4, because this deck is filled with level 4s. Start out with Maestroke, because Maestroke is just great. Shark Drake, because Shark Drake just, you know, I killed your monster, let me bring it back, weaken it, kill it again.
Insult to injury.
Yep, insult to injury.
Nothing screws with your opponent more.
Nope. Photon Patbill Operative. Great tech. Change battle position and rape face. Classic Utopia. And Gemini Pearl.
Yep.
So that's the extra deck. And I'll quickly run through my side. I've talked about my general side in previous videos. It doesn't really change too much for most of my decks. Actually, in this side, I have some of my side deck from another deck because I was a little too lazy to just switch the sleeves around.
If it works, and it works, you know.
Exactly. Deal with those pesky machines. System down.
Bye-bye, Geargia.
Throw in that electric virus, too. For my matchups with 6 Sams, Kinetic Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
For Dark World, I run the classic Gemini Imps, but because it's zombies, my second side is Despair from the Dark. You want to discard something from my hand? Sure. Let me discard this. Now I have a 2800 beat stick staring you down. Why not?
Giant purple fire ghost thing.
Eating
beastly.
gravestones.
Yeah.
To mess with people, gotta run 2 Zombie World. Start making all their monsters zombies. So if they run a monotype deck, that's gonna start screwing with some of their specialing.
Take out the Necro Valley if you need to. Take out the Deer Town.
Yep. Take out any field
whatever.
spell. This one I might change around. Right now it's Tragoidia.
Mm-hmm.
I really have a fight with Tragoidia and Gores. They both leave something to me. I hate not having cards on the field. So Gores is a little upsetting to me when I have to not have anything there.
Yeah. Gores has a thing about never showing up when you need him.
Exactly.
Or showing up when you've just got things that are never going to go away in your field. And then Trag will... I mean, Trag happens, but he can happen really easily, but you still take the damage. And he never ends up being big when you want him to.
He's never big the way you want him to be.
If you can make him last for the turn and you can get his second effects off, then, that's cool. That's what I mostly use him for. I use him to sink.
Yeah.
Target a monster, then throw it a tuner. There you go.
Exactly. It's a heavy dark deck, so 2 deck Devi. Very useful. Starlight Road, because people are gonna start popping multiple things at a time. If you run into that Mirror Force, because zombies tend to kind of recklessly go in for the kill, and they hit that Mirror Force a lot. Starlight Roid. Starlight Roid. Starlight
on roids.
Ooh. Well, it kind of is.
Yeah.
It's the gold rare, so it kind of is on roids. And then finally, I gotta put this in every single one of my decks.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
That old favorite.
2 Prohibition, because Prohibition is just so versatile.
Anti-everything.
Anti
whatever you want it to be.
It's like a great imagination card.
Yep.
And it makes people angry.
Absolutely. So that's the zombies, the Elder deck.
The Elder deck.
You'll notice that there's no Red Eyes in the deck. That he's had, quite an experience, a long run with the Red Eyes Zombie Dragon.
Definitely.
Ended up not making the cut simply because it's a dead draw. It has the potential for dead draw. And, Call the Mummy isn't useful. I mean, it's a very useful card, but it's not constant enough. It's always a target for MST or Heavy or, whatever. Of course. It leaves too easy, but hey, the deck works really well without it. I mean, there was a little bit of a lull in the action with this kind of thing, but then Season came out and you totally brought it back, and it's fantastic.
Definitely.
So yeah, we hope you guys like it. As usual, like, subscribe, comment, show your friends.
Tell them to like, subscribe, comment.
Absolutely, and then let the vicious cycle continue, and then watch more fun stuff. Tune in about 5 minutes. If you've seen the 6 Sam match that I had, my Worm deck, that's going to be our next deck profile video, and that's going to happen right as we're done making this one. So yeah, you're going to get to see that finally. I know there's a couple people looking to see my deck list, so I think I'm finally at the point where we're after regionals and nobody's going to spy on me because I'm totally nervous like that, I guess. But yeah, you're going to see that. One quick little shout out to one of our subscribers, Addicted to Stangs. He's been throwing out some good comments, and you really seem to like our videos. So hey man, thanks a lot for all your support, and we're gonna keep doing what we're doing if you like it. So thanks a lot, man. We appreciate it. All right, guys. See you later.
See ya.